Just to let the readers know, I'm a female. It was Thursday. I had an alarm for 6 a.m. because I had to go to school. I woke up to my alarm blasting in my ear. I grabbed my phone, turned off my alarm. I was awake now and glued to the bed. So I decided to go on Instagram. That's when I saw it. Someone standing 1 foot away from me. My vision was blurry, but I could see what she was wearing. She had long hair, a long nightgown with flowers. Her legs were so pale. She was in front of my brother's bed, moving side to side gently while looking at me. I was paralyzed. I couldn't move. I went under my covers. I started rubbing my eyes when I accidentally scratched myself. That's when I realized I wasn't dreaming. I pulled my covers off and she was still there. All I could do was call my brother's name. For my brother's privacy, we'll just call him Jack, I whispered while crying. Jack, use your flashlight, I said. About 5 times while crying louder. He heard me the 6th time, and he woke up, grabbed his flashlight. Then when she vanished and my dog woke up, I was still scared and crying. I told my brother what had happened, and I still went to school. When I came back home, I told my mom, and what she said still chills me to the bone. She said a woman died in her house. She used to live here with her son. When she died, her son moved away, and my mom rented the house. I'm no longer comfortable. There once was a pirate that was renowned all over the world for his ruthlessness. The hook that now served as his hand was said to be made of the purest silver, always painted with blood. It said that he would come for you, even from beyond the grave. Everyone believed it to be true, but nobody believed he would ever die. When he did, it was like an unspoken rule had been broken. His crew chopped him up and scattered his remains all over the world, at each dock he visited, so that he would have control of everything even in death. They threw his right foot into the deep channel, his left hand strung up in a tree, and his face, which they tore from his skull like a mask, was buried in the middle of a large empty field. Everyone forgot about him after that. Many years later, the land was cultivated, turned into fertile, prosperous farms. Fields upon fields of crops flourished in the hottest sun. Livestock thrived under the shades of trees, and the water always ran clear and fresh. One such farmer lived on the property, said to be haunted by spirits. He didn't know much else of the story. Nobody did. It was one of the mysteries of the town that very few would gossip about. The farmer, my great-great-grandfather, was in the market for a hook to hitch his oxen to his plow since the last one he had broke. So he rode into town. The prices were all much too high for him to afford. Just as he was going to admit defeat, he found the perfect hook. It was just laying there in the road, discarded, made from pure silver, stained with a rusty sort of color. It was heavy on his hands. Without a word, he took it, rode back to the farm, hook in hand. When he got back to his farm, he instantly put the hook to good use. It was the perfect hitch for his plow, made an amazing grapple to pull the hay into the loft, and earned itself a place of honor hanging in the barn door when the day came to an end. He laid his head down on the pillow without a worry in his mind, until he heard it. A soft, fleshy, stomping sound echoed down the hallway, and a scratching sound like bitten down nails being dragged across the hardwood floor. The farmer flew from his bed, hastily lighting his torch, desperate to find the source of noise. There was nothing there. With a chill running through the skin of the farmer, he dashed to the front door of the house. The floorboard squeaked under his naked feet. The sound still followed. It seemed as though he would never be able to escape them. The thwacking stepping sound, and the horrid scratching that made his skin feel torn from his bones. He had to get away. The farmer ran, with his lantern held in a shaky hand, to the barn. Surely the sounds wouldn't follow him there, surely. The doors loomed in front of him, shadowed by the cover of the night. The sounds continued rustling with the grass, and making their way towards him. He then, his right foot catching on something, metal and cold, his lantern stumbled, fumbled, smashing open, and catching the homestead alight. The farmer spun around on his seat, where he landed, his breathing ragged and raw. The sounds grew louder as they approached. Crawling forward, emerged a grizzled hand severed long ago, the skin pale and tight over the ancient bones, its broken nails dug into the soil, rotten muscles tending to drag the rest of it through the wilted grass. It curled its bony fingers over what the farmer had tripped over, the hook that earned a place of honor in his barn door. Then a foot came out of the darkness, shaking and quivering, as long-destroyed tendons forced the rest of the dead appendage to move forward. With each step, thud followed, as the dead skin slapped against the cold ground. The farmer scrambled to his feet, desperate to get away. The blaze of his now burning barn, scorching his skin, and his livestock howled inside. The doors flew open. He ran past, careening into the fields, tripping over his own feet. The last thing he saw was a face rising from the soil, suspended in the air as if it was tied to strings, staring at him through the hole where his eyes would be, its lips limpy, held agape by gravity. No one knows what happened to the farmer after that. It's just a story we tell. The old property died after he did. The fields wilted no matter what we grow. The river became choked with mud and filth, and the animals starved fruitless barren land. The only thing that remained, laying discarded next to the burnt remains of the barn, was the hook lying in the grass. The hook's been handed through my family. It's a constant reminder that we are forever cursed with it. It is in my possession now, hanging outside of my house, just outside reach, and there it will stay forever, for I fear that if I touch it, the several faces that I see hanging within my door frame at night will be angry with me.